Man, why does my always... Sakes, what's going on?
There we go. Okay. I do not know what's wrong with my freaking mic. It always picks the wrong one. Okay. We are streaming. I'll go ahead here and post this over in the Discord. Post this on the Discord, and then we're gonna get code in here. Ooh. Okay. Streaming F#. Okay. Paste this. Whoops. Gotta change my stream name. Let's change my stream name real quick. F# safe stack. F# safe stack development. Fogent TTRPG Character Sheet. Okie dokie. Post the sucker here. Let's just delete this. Okay. What the heck? So I'm trying to post this stream over in the F# Discord, and it does not want to work. I guess it hasn't. I guess it doesn't. Weird. What if I try it one more time? Weird. I do not know why it still says that. Lazy morning, F# safe stack streaming. Not sure why the stream name didn't update, but we are just continuing to build an automated TTRPG character sheet. Okay. Okay, so we are back in Safe Stack here. What are we doing? So we're gonna go ahead, launch up our code. We're already in here. Code dot. And we're gonna look. So yesterday we actually got pretty darn far. We got our UI building again. Oh, and yesterday we started to use Vim. I forget. So now I'm supposed to be like a Vim master or something, but I'm really not. I'm still learning. Okay. I do know I should get a Vim binding, or the Vim, the big Vim, like cheat sheet. That would be really nice. So let's see if everything launches right now. So let's look at the current state of our application. .NET Run. Let's launch this. I'm thinking today what we're mainly going to be doing is we got our vocation working correctly for our character sheet, but I want to actually I want to make it really solid. So there are a couple things that I want to change. Oh, what's wrong with you, sir? What is wrong with you? You should be okay. So let's go ahead and check out our. We can go ahead and just click on our localhost here, and then see here. So here's our current character sheet. Now it's blacked out right now because I probably have my dark mode enabled. So this is what we have right now. So we have our core skills working, the dice here are working. That's awesome. Our different attributes, it's being changed on here. And then yesterday we got our vocations working. So now you can add in your vocations. So I'm seeing a couple problems here. So number one, it appears that as we change our level here, we're not recalculating our dice pools. I already knew that was a problem. And then the other thing is this panel right here. We never implemented the logic to basically splay out a toggleable view to where people can click these attributes and they can say, hey, this vocation is governed by this, and or not. And then the other thing that I see as a problem here is that we don't have the vocation list popping up here at all underneath, and so that's a problem. So probably what we're going to start with is probably figuring out why our vocation skill, so under here, if I kind of, just because it's always a good example to kind of know what you're wanting to work on. So if we go over to my old character sheet that I'm sorry, actually we can just go to the straight up Fallen repository. I should change to Fogent because the game is Fogent now. Fallen is one of the settings, but I can do, we can just do nix develop, and I just want to drop myself into my little Codium, my Codium setup here, and we're just going to look at what a normal markdown sheet looks like. So I can do Codium. So what we should see here, we'll pick Vasily here. So underneath, so the top row should be our vocation, and then you should be able to specify here which of these attributes govern your skill. And what I want to do is you can be able to click on that, and then it'll bring up a toggle, and it lets you choose, hey, what attributes are associated with this vocation. Because like a rogue might be reflex and intelligence, a wizard might just be intelligence, a warrior might have all three, you know, and give people that flexibility to kind of customize their class essentially. So then here, and then under here we want to be able to give people the list. So we have to have the list under here of the skills. So let's go ahead and start peeking into the code. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to commit this because, let's see here. So that's all fine. Let's discard this. First thing to do is to make sure, like, why is there nothing right now inside of our vocation skill list? We could, as just a little experiment right here, say, hey, go ahead and throw the vocation, a vocation skill in here, just to knit it. I want to see if this displays in our UI, because I think right now there should be a, this view should produce as one of the elements here a button that can be pressed for each vocation. And like, if I go over to vocation here, we're not seeing that pop up. Am I not leveraging? Oh, well, first things first, we're never calling our vocational skill list within our vocation. So that would most certainly be a problem. Yeah, no freaking wonder. Okay, so then we want to start stacking things. I believe what we want to do is we're going to want to do a list here essentially, and we're going to print out all of our elements beneath, and we're going to want to iterate over our vocation skill list. And actually, I think I can do it from scratch, but I think I've already done this before. Actually, you know, we did do this before. We can just look at our core skill list here, and this is it. This is all we have to do. So we can actually learn Vim, and then we can hit Y to yank it, and then we can go back to our vocation. Oops, right, insert mode. We can come down here. So beneath, within our box, but not within our column for the vocation thing at the top, we're going to paste. And what we want here, we're going to have to do a list append here for sure. No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't have to do that. But I will need to indent all of this. Nice. It wouldn't be our model here. It would be our dot vocation skill list. And this guy also needs to be pushed over a little bit. Why are you angry here, sir? Oh, you're fine. He's just concerned like, hey, why are you using core skill here? Well, we're not using core skill. So I can do delete word, insert. This will be a vocational skill list. So we have our vocational skill list. And actually, you know what? What's really cool? I'm pretty certain that because... yeah, so actually here, this is even simpler. This is way too much logic, because actually our vocational skill list, he's going to be in charge. He's going to be the guy that's responsible for, he's already doing our list.mapBy, and he's, you know, he's the guy who's in charge of handling each of the dispatches for each of the guys. So actually all we need to do is in our vocation here, so actually we can do, I'm trying to learn Vim, undo, 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 there we go. So we can actually just call our update function, can't we? So we can say vocation skill list dot update, and then here we're just going to provide with it the message. So the message we're going to give here, if we remember, we have, so we have set name, all these. We're missing per vocation. Each vocation needs to be able to call a vocation skill list message of vocation. And so this is literally just like pointing us down to the what's it called below. So then here, we can just call that your message is going to be, actually, quick question here. Message then model. I think my I'm being stupid. It's my view. I'm having a brain fart. We can do attribute name set, and then we need to give it the. So it takes the attribute name set, which is part of our UI. It's just a list of the attributes, so it can display it to the user. We need the model and the dispatch. So our model will just be model dot location skill list, and our dispatch, this is where we need to use that message we just made, where we say vocation skill list message, and we can bind it to dispatch. Is that what this operator is called? I know what it does, but what is the name of this dude? I think it's bind, because all it's doing is like sandwiching two functions together, basically. It's making the output of the first hook up to the input of the second. But now, okay, so I think if we resave this and we go back over to our UI here, yeah, there we go, perfect. Okay, oh, look how cool that is. That's so freaking cool. Okay, so couple problems here. So I'm not seeing the name displayed right now, which that's a problem, but we can fix that. But if I click this button here, it is not inserting another thing here, but the button exists. I'm curious why that doesn't work. So then we can click these, but these toggles aren't working, which is totally fine. And then let's see, is our level's not working either. So we got some work to go do on our vocational skill list, but that's really cool. Oh, and I can tell you why, actually, preponderance for you. Why in the world would our UI not be able to update? Well, think about it right now. In vocation, we just made this thing called vocation skill list, but we're never handling the message in our update. So of course it can't update. So watch this. If we just handle this, actually a lot of that UI might just start to work. So we're going to go ahead and say for a vocation skill list message, please go ahead, give us the message that you're carrying with you. Then all we're going to want you to do is for our current model with, and then we can give it here the thing we want to update, and we can say, hey, please update. There we go. And then update's going to want the message, and then it's going to want the model. So we can do message model dot and now if we save this, let's see. So can I change this now? Hey, would you look at that? Perfect. It's not updating our dice pool here, but we're going to work on that today. But that's all nice. What about this? Can I add another one? You can add another one. That's freaking awesome. And then here, does this work? This still doesn't work. Okay. Okay, still. That is major progress. Cool. So then we can just save this. Hooked up update and view for vocational skill list. Sweet. Okay, so then let's choose something to attack. First thing I want to know is why this UI is working, but this one isn't, because this guy should be leveraging this same UI. So let's go take a peek see. So that would be on vocation here. So that should be this right here. So governing attribute toggle. Oops. Let's go peek at this. And then it's getting leveraged down here, so I'm kind of curious. Could it be that I actually don't have a good reason why this isn't working then? Because look here. So like they're leveraging the same function. Actually, maybe it is working. Let's see. Hold on. Because if I click here, it is dropping out the box. It's almost like they're inversed, where that's really interesting. Let's look here. So it has to be something wrong with governing attribute toggle then. So this is a drop-down box. When you hover over it, it pops this out. The trigger is oh, wait a second. Maybe that's it. So it expects to be given the model attribute set. So the model here is currently what it's representing, and then the attribute name set here is going to be whatever exists in the game right now. So for Fallen, it's strength, reflex, and intelligence are our attributes. And then the dispatch here is just a function that we pass into this view so that we can decouple it and use it in two different places. But all it's going to do is dispatch out a message that it's a pre-made function that you just feed it with an attribute name and it dispatches that. So what I'm curious of is how come, because like it's funny, they're each doing one part correctly. So let's work on this first actually, and then we'll solve this, because this seems to be working fine. It just doesn't seem like when it's this toggle, like it's not toggling these right now. So actually this is doing its job. So let's go over to our vocational skill here. So I'd expect that when it calls dispatch toggle governing attribute, what is that calling? So here we give it toggle governing attribute, and then here's toggle governing attribute. So when we call toggle governing attribute, it says, hey, take that new attribute name and go ahead. Hold on. Interesting. So I might see the problem here. So right now, toggle attribute name set, all this guy does, he has like this. He has a list of all the attributes. So he has the 3 attributes, and that's what and that's whatever is defined within the game. It's all of the attributes that could exist. And then new attribute name is saying, hey, I'd like you to toggle this on, true or false for this particular vocational skill. So maybe this skill is like a weapon skill, so it makes sense that it scales off of strength. But maybe it's just a pure knowledge stat. So why would strength come into it? Why would reflex? It would just be intelligence. And so that's the problem that's going on here, is that we're passing in essentially an empty set and out an empty set. So no, that should be fine though, because even if this is empty, what it should do, let's see here. So this dude takes the old attribute names and the new attribute name, and it just says, hey, if the new attribute name exists, then keep around, and this should return a Boolean, right? Okay. So that's right. So it's saying, hey, if you're trying to toggle something that's currently within our set of attributes, if it's true, so maybe that's my problem. So attribute name exists, so assuming that it exists, if it does exist already, oh, I have it backwards. That's exactly what my problem is here. Because right now, yeah, my logic is literally inverted here. Because what should happen is if the attribute name does not exist and our job is to toggle stuff, what we should actually do is do the reverse. So if our attribute name exists in our little list here, then we actually want to remove it, else we want to add it. So actually this is backwards. So we're going to go ahead here. We're going to, I think I can just do DD, and I think I can come down here, and then I can do this. I think I can paste this. Oh, still learning my Vim. Okay, so that right there should at least fix something. Oh, maybe not. Hey, would you look at that? Now it's working. This guy still isn't working, but this one is. It's really satisfying. Cool. Okay, so we can save that. Fixed toggle logic. So we fixed one thing. Now our next problem is that that's all working. Why isn't the name popping up here? That's really weird. That should not be doing that. So that should be being handled by view here. Ah, okay, hold on. So the problem here now is that our view for skill, right, he's not built to, yeah, he's not built to take an input as his skill. So, we could just pass down another field here. I kind of don't know if I like that at this point. But it would keep the logic all the same, so maybe it's worth it. Because right now, this guy takes in the normal model and dispatch. He also takes in can the user change their level, and if they have a governing skill column. So then maybe it is here, because what we'd want to do is probably pass in one more thing. Can user change name? And what we want to do is give it a match here. Can user change name? And if they can change the name, then we're going to do one thing. If they can't, we're going to do the other. So if I say, you know, and actually, honestly, an if statement might be easier here. If can user change name, then do, so if they can't change the name, do this, else do what we have below here. And what do we want here? So if the user can change the name, then we want to do what essentially we did over here in our location, which is this. And then we just need set name. See, I actually really don't like this structure here. We're going to fix this in a second. I think we can make this much nicer. But this way we can just call here and say, hey, if we want the user, if the user can change the name, if they can't change the name, nice. I do want to change the UI here though. I'm not a big fan of the UI. Or I'm not a big fan of the way I have this structured, if I'm being honest. So then all we do here is set name, we take in the message, and what we do here is model.name verb with name equal to message. Okay, and then we're gonna have to go fix some stuff, probably. We definitely pissed off core skill here. So can a core skill change, this should be false because it should be able to change the name. What's skill angry about? What are you angry about here? Okay, nice. And then we're gonna have a type mismatch here. Can user change level? And this will always be true here. User can always change the name here. Okay, so then hypothetically, let's see, did our UI reflect this now? Yeah, it does. Nice. I don't know. So my vocation will be blacksmith, and my thing here, my skill will be smithing. And then here I can do this. And I could add more of these if I want to. So for smithing, might be strength and intelligence. And then for, I don't know, smithing knowledge. Let's make this expand out. I would say that's just going to be intelligence, because it's just the knowledge associated with it. Okay, cool. That works. And we can add more of these if we want. So let's commit that. Fixed name for skill. Okay. So the next thing we probably want to work on is why this guy isn't working, because this guy should be working. So what if I go to vocation here and take a peek? Because what's interesting is it's I don't know if this is hold on. I got that. And that looks right. So then it is something, it must be something here. But then why? Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind. Why would this only be sharing? So it's displaying all of the attribute names, but it won't give us the toggle. So it's almost like let's see if we can't simplify this a little bit. So I guess it does have to be weird. This is kind of throwing me for a loop. Because also, the only things that should get displayed in that box Okay, so it has to be that vocational, that for vocation it's not being passed down. That has to be it. So who's feeding vocation? Who's feeding vocation? Vocational list. And it's getting attribute name. Attribute name set. No, it's definitely being fed it. And see, I know that this has data in it because it has to have data in it, or else how would the what's it called have data in then? See, that should just be coming in. That should be fine. This should be very simple. This should be super simple, but I'm letting it not be. Oh my gosh. No, wait, that's fine. That's fine. Like, this actually should work. See, what's crazy is it's getting the data here. Okay, so this means that if we think about this rationally, this means that if it's displaying that text, then it's at least getting in the model. So it's at least getting in the attribute name set. And it thinks, so that's so weird. Oh, wait. That's the problem. I have these backwards. Yes, okay, I figured it out. So essentially, oh my gosh, I feel so stupid. Oh, I feel dumb. Okay, so the problem is governing attribute toggle, it takes in the model, then it takes in the dispatch, like the curry dispatch function, and then it's going to take in the attribute name set. I have it backwards. So right now I'm giving it the attribute, so I need model up here, and then I need attribute name set down here. Oh, okay. So now if we reload this, this should fix this. Yep, there we go. Okay. So that works just fine. I can call this blacksmith. And then here I can click on probably strengthen reflex, and then I can do this. Wonderful, wonderful, very wonderful. Okay. Fixed vocation attribute toggle. Alrighty, so then probably the next big thing we want to get fixed is the ability to start sending down or start commanding down the chain, hey, I want you to update dice pools. So we gotta do that. So we need, just like on core skill, where we had calculate dice pool, over here on a vocational skill, we're gonna need calculate dice pool. And this will take in open dice pool calculation data. Oh, I already have it. Never mind. Oh, so this guy already has it. Nice. So then a vocation skill just needs to have it, which it does. So then a vocational skill list has it. It does. So then a vocation needs to have it. Ooh, see now here, do I want to update just one dice pool or all the dice pools? Probably all the dice pools. Probably all the dice pools of calculate, and I need skill here. Open Fogent roleplay lib dot skill. I do see a problem here. Why is that capitalized? So then we can say, and actually the only thing here is that we do need to, we do, oh, also one thing I did just realize here, so one problem here that I'm seeing was that this could increase, even though, so the vocation here should be capping how high up this can increase, so that's something I need to fix real quick. That's good to know. But for the dice pool calculation, what I want to do is for the for our dice pool, we are probably just gonna want to call I might need the vocational skill one. Or actually, vocation might need its own custom one, so let's look here. So if I go down to a vocational skill, in here it has calculate vocational skill dice pool, which is awesome. Now we're going to need something similar to this. But we're going to need the same thing over here for vocation. So we can do V, jump to the end of this line here. Oops. Undo. I'm trying to get Vimy with it. I think I can hit V, and then I thought I could hit this. If I grab all this and I could yank it. And then I could go down to vocation here. And then I could paste it. And I could call this something else. But we are going to have to extract out a bunch of stuff. So I want calculate vocation dice pool. It can take in all this stuff. That's fine. We don't need we actually need 0 to 5. And then down here, our attribute. We need to know what attribute is. Open attribute. Find attribute with attribute name. Oh, he's all good. This is actually for the playtest tomorrow for the game. Find attribute with attribute name. Where is this guy located? What library did I get you from? It's in find attribute with attribute name. So actually this shouldn't live in here then. This should probably live in an attribute. Oops. So let's try to do this the Vim way. Boom. Boom. Yank. And oh, actually, no, I want to hit X, right? Or delete. So I actually want to do V, down, delete. Oh, and then I screwed up my indentation here. But then I can go up here to attribute. And I can paste this here. So then, is everybody happy in here? I know a bunch of people over here aren't going to be happy, but that's okay. And then, modify dice pool by dice pool list. Yeah, so this is where we can open dice pool mod. And then this, instead of going negative 0, 25 to uint. Bless me. Woo! Man. And then we do need open neg 2 to 5 here. And again, we are going to simplify this dramatically. We're going to move all this calculation logic to its own little place. But now, nobody's angry with me in here, so I have calculate vocation dice pool. So then I can go over to here. Here's where it's important. Under calculate dice pool here, then for this guy, we want model with dice pool equal to calculate vocation dice pool, where we give it our message, then we have to give it the model.level. Then we need to give it the model dot and we are on a vocation, so we should have the why is my model here? Oh, it thinks it's a skill. You are not a skill, sir. You are a vocation. And then, last but not least, this thing needs, oh, so that's good. So then, we have the ability to calculate why does it think this model is a skill? Okay. So now our vocation is able to call calculate dice pools. And it's going to calculate this dice pool, but it's also going to say vocational skill list equals vocational skill list dot update. The message we're going to give it is calculate dice pools. We're going to give it here the message, and then we're also going to give it here the model. Why is this not working? Oh, because I have an S here. Alrighty. And that's gonna calculate all of our dice pools for everything. And then does this have it? No, but the vocations do need to be able to calculate the dice pools. Dude, we're making progress. So then all we're going to do here is what are we doing here? We're just going to say model with, or not even. I think we just want to list.map, and then we're going to do it across our model dot, or just our model, and the function is going to take in a vocation, and for each vocation it is going to say vocation dot update. We're going to feed it here r vocation dot calculate dice pools, and then the message we're going to give it here is a vocation. And then nice. And with that, we have calculate dice pools. So now in character here, oof. Yeah, and actually one thing I just realized I could do is on how do I do a recursive function of sharp? Hold on, I think I just call recursive. How to do a recursive in F sharp. I think I just call recursive right next to it. REC. That would be pretty gnarly. I don't know if that's like violating MVU though. Because what I want to make is a update all dice pool message in here and then be able to call itself from within here instead of just having to do it every time. Okay, well, let's get no assignment for attribute list. No assignment given for field attribute list. Well, yeah, because it's not attribute list anymore. I changed that, right? In dice pool calculation, I changed that. Oh, I guess I didn't. But I do want it here that well, I know this is stable right now, right? Added calculate dice pool to vocations. Hello, Smugine. How are you? How are you? Are you doing well, sir? Would you like to come up and sit on my lap? Mwah, good dog. Good doggy. Okay, we're still grinding. Still grinding. So then the question would be, how do we take an attribute and core skill list and just get out the attributes? Because what we're going to want to do, well, actually, we already did it, right? So all we have to do here is say let dice pool calculation data equal, and then we just give it all this stuff in here, because this big old thing in here is actually just our dice pool calculation data, and then we don't need this in here anymore. We can just say dice pool calculation data, and then here we can also say ooh, see. See. No, this is fine. This is good. So I think that works. Fixed when dice pool update is run. So I'd expect this to be changing now that this is being run, but I guess not. Hold on. So we got to go to vocation now. See, I'd expect this to be actually working right now. Oh, see, it is. Whenever I change this, it's not running that because because I literally haven't specified that. Pretty darn cool. Good. Okay. What are you doing, Schmeagle? What are you doing? What are you doing down there, buddy? Okay, so now my question becomes, is it okay to let my update functions be recursive? That's a really good question. MVU recursive update. Because if I can, that would be really nice. Oh. Because, like, my idea would be, instead of, no, I guess I wouldn't want to call calculate dice pool here. So, like, actually it should be something on vocational skill here. So, on a vocational skill, oh, no, it would be handled up in character. So now what character needs is here for its vocationalist update. After it calls the update, it does need to call, see, I'm gonna try something here, hold on. If I think I can do let recursive here. So I can do let recursive, and this guy still takes in a message and an update. We can have a function here called calculate dice pools, and it will will this work? Because, like, what I don't want to do every time is that every time I want to... Okay, so, like, here, let's try to solve it without it and then see if we can convert it. So like, right now, I have to do this. So I'd have to do this, and then I have to pipe the result of this into another vocation list dot update, but this time force feed it and I can feed it here. But see, then I don't have the what are you thinking, Smeagol? I'm thinking we want something, a function that can take in character and that can give us out the dice pool calculation data. Because then I don't need the recursive function, and it can be free of my dice pool calculation data. Yeah, so character, okay. So then really, there needs to be a function that can take, a character and grab out the relevant information for a dice pool calculation and then generate that out. That's what we actually need. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Oh no, I got disconnected from my chat. Ooh, I might not be streaming anymore. I don't even think I'm streaming anymore. I think my stream died. Uh-oh. We'll end the stream.